A new chapter in alliances is unfolding, not on land or sea, but in the vast, uncharted expanse of space. As humanity's ambitions reach beyond our planet, so too do the partnerships that shape our future. The United States and France, historic allies with a legacy of cooperation, are now deepening their military partnership above our heads, forging a new path in the cosmos. This isn't about exploration or scientific discovery, it's about security, vigilance, and protecting vital interests in a domain that is rapidly becoming contested and unpredictable. Together, they're sending a clear message to the world. Space will not be left unguarded, and their commitment to defending it is unwavering. This strategic shift is the result of years of growing concern over rapid advancements by other nations, especially China, whose expanding capabilities have raised alarms in Western defense circles. The once peaceful arena of space is now a zone of intense strategic competition, where technological superiority and quick response can make all the difference. The US, long the leader in military space operations, and France, with its own advanced and sovereign capabilities, are pooling resources, intelligence, and expertise to counter emerging threats and maintain a technological edge. Their collaboration is built on shared democratic values, trust, and a mutual understanding of the dangers and complexities that define the 21st century security landscape. This partnership goes far beyond political statements. There are concrete plans for joint military satellites, shared operational doctrines, and integrated command structures to ensure seamless cooperation. The aim is ambitious: to create a resilient, adaptive space architecture that can withstand threats, recover from attacks, and improve collective space domain awareness for both nations. By working together, they hope to quickly identify hostile actions, respond to potential dangers, and secure their access to space for both military and civilian needs. This alliance isn't just about hardware or technology, it's about building a unified front, fostering trust, and creating a culture of cooperation in a domain that is now critical to national and global security. It's a proactive step, a forward-looking strategy to ensure their interests in space remain protected, and to deter those who might threaten the stability of this new frontier. The final frontier is no longer just a place of exploration, it is now a shared responsibility. And the world is watching as these allies lead the way. To understand the US-France alliance, we must look at China's meteoric rise in space. In just decades, China has become a top-tier space power, rivaling the US and Russia. Their space program is central to economic, technological, and military ambitions. Ambitious, well-funded, and fast-moving. China has landed rovers on the Moon and Mars, built its own space station, and developed the Beidou navigation system. Massive satellite constellations now give China global surveillance and communication capabilities. Their plans include a permanent lunar base and advanced launch vehicles, signaling a long-term strategy to dominate space. This approach is reshaping the global balance of power. For the US and France, China's ambitions are a wake-up call. The West's concern isn't just about China's achievements, it's about the dual-use nature of their technology. China's ability to maneuver satellites, use robotic arms, and conduct anti-satellite missile tests has changed the security landscape. The 2007 anti-satellite test created dangerous debris and proved satellites are now vulnerable targets. Non-kinetic threats like lasers and electronic warfare can blind or jam satellites, crippling military operations. Co-orbital satellites capable of approaching and interfering with others raise the risk of espionage or sabotage. The ambiguity of these actions makes it hard to distinguish between peaceful and hostile intent. Western planners see these developments as a direct threat to their space assets. The line between maintenance and attack is dangerously thin. Space is now a contested, ambiguous battlefield. In response to growing challenges in space, the US and France have formalized a groundbreaking new era of military space cooperation, marking a significant milestone in international defense partnerships. This historic pact establishes deep collaboration between the US Space Force and France's Space Command, uniting their expertise and resources to address emerging threats beyond Earth's atmosphere. At its core, The agreement is about sharing critical information and closely coordinating activities, allowing both nations to create a much clearer, real-time picture of what's happening in orbit and respond more effectively to any incidents. Joint military satellite projects now focus on building resilient, distributed networks, constellations of smaller, agile satellites that can quickly replace lost capabilities and adapt to changing conditions in space. Regular personnel exchanges and joint training exercises foster mutual understanding, build trust, and ensure both teams can respond rapidly and seamlessly to any crisis that may arise. By practicing together, US and French forces refine their plans for countering threats like electronic jamming, cyber attacks, or even hostile approaches to their satellites, strengthening their collective defense. The ultimate goal is deterrence, making any act of aggression in space so costly and risky for adversaries that it becomes an unthinkable option. Presenting a united front, the US and France send a clear message. An attack on one is considered an attack on both, reinforcing their shared commitment to security. This collective security approach, long proven on Earth through alliances like NATO, now boldly extends into the domain of space, adapting to new realities. The alliance draws on lessons from past military strategies, updating them for the unique challenges and opportunities of this new critical domain. The message is clear. Space security is a shared, unbreakable commitment, and together, the US and France are determined to protect the final frontier. The new generation of joint military satellites is built for survivability and advanced capabilities. Space domain awareness is key. These satellites track objects and detect hostile maneuvers. Resilient communications use frequency hopping and encryption to resist jamming and interception. Networks of satellites reroute data if one is lost, ensuring constant contact. Next-gen imaging and radar provide 24/7 surveillance, even through clouds or at night. Shared data enhances global situational awareness for both nations. Maneuverability and self-defense are built in. Satellites can evade threats and deploy countermeasures. The specifics are classified, but the goal is clear. Make satellites hard targets. These aren't passive assets, they're active defenders in orbit. The future of space security is agile, resilient, and ready for conflict. Space is the ultimate high ground, offering unmatched observation, communication, and navigation. Control of space means military, economic, and diplomatic advantage. Losing access would blind militaries and cripple economies. GPS, essential for both daily life and advanced weaponry, is a military backbone. Disrupting GPS or satellite communications would paralyze modern forces. Satellites enable global command, real-time intelligence, and secure crisis communication. Any disruption could sow chaos and confusion on the battlefield. Intelligence satellites monitor threats and provide early warning. Protecting these assets is about safeguarding national security itself. For the US and France, space is now of vital strategic interest. The new space battlefield is digital, fought with cyber attacks and electronic warfare. Satellites like computers can be hacked, disrupted, or have data stolen. Signal jamming can sever communications or blind reconnaissance during critical moments. The US and France are hardening satellites with encryption, secure software, and anti-jamming tech. Satellites can switch frequencies and filter out interference, staying connected under attack. Intelligence sharing helps both nations anticipate and counter digital threats. The first shots of future conflicts may be invisible, but their impact will be decisive. Defending space now means defending the digital frontier. US-France cooperation signals a new era of great power competition in space. Unlike the Cold War, today's race is multipolar, with Russia, India, Japan, and others in play. China and Russia are likely to deepen their partnership, forming a powerful bloc. This could accelerate the weaponization of space and divide the world into rival camps. Competition will drive innovation. AI, propulsion, and satellite manufacturing will leap forward. Military rivalry may yield civilian benefits, but also increases the risk of conflict. Without clear rules, accidents or miscalculations could escalate quickly. The world urgently needs new norms for space behavior. The space competition is set to intensify in the coming years, with alliances expanding and new players joining the race for dominance beyond Earth. As technology advances and ambitions grow, the stakes in space have never been higher. Western allies like the UK, Germany, and Australia are integrating into a collective security network, strengthening their cooperation to protect shared interests in orbit and beyond. These nations are pooling resources, intelligence, and expertise to ensure their place in the new space order. The Five Eyes Alliance is extending its reach into space, sharing critical data and coordinating surveillance efforts. This collaboration is designed to counter emerging threats and maintain a technological edge over potential adversaries. Meanwhile, China and Russia will likely solidify their partnership, challenging the US-led order and presenting a formidable alternative vision for space governance. Their joint ventures signal a new era of strategic competition. The Moon is emerging as the next strategic prize, with both blocs planning ambitious lunar bases. Control of lunar resources and territory could shape the balance of power for decades to come, making the Moon a focal point for rivalry. Commercial space companies add complexity to this landscape, offering both unprecedented opportunities for innovation and new vulnerabilities that could be exploited. Their rapid growth is reshaping the industry and the rules of engagement. The line between government and private space activity is blurring, as public and private sectors increasingly collaborate on missions, technology, and security. This partnership brings both benefits and challenges, requiring new frameworks for cooperation. The key question remains: can this intensifying competition be managed without escalating into open conflict? The risks are real, and the consequences could be catastrophic for all. International diplomacy and the creation of new norms are desperately needed to prevent disaster. Only through dialogue, transparency, and mutual understanding can the world hope to avoid a dangerous arms race in space. The next era in orbit will be defined by this delicate balance between rivalry and the shared need to keep space safe for all. The choices made today will shape the future of humanity's presence beyond our planet.